Mr. Li, thank you so much for joining us. You recently attended the Small Island Developing States Conference in Antigua and Barbuda. What would you say was the biggest takeaway from that gathering?
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. We just concluded our fourth international conference on small island developing states. The biggest achievement or most significant achievement we concluded from this fourth conference is that all the member states rallied behind this Antigua-Barbuda agenda for seats, or we call it the ABAS. This declaration or this agenda actually regalvanized the political commitments from the all UN members. And second, I think, again, member states attached enormous importance to the special situation facing seats. We will continue to perceive the seats as a special situation. And third thing, I think that after this conference, all member states, once again, rally behind it's a strong sense of the partnership. So the key point is that when and how we will soon start our delivery, our implementation for this agenda for seats, because there is a very high expectations from seats members. This is the agenda for them, which sets out the priority areas, which sets out the targeted actions, and which sets out the support they count on their international partners.
There's always conversations, some very tough conversations about financing when it comes to these things. What needs to change when it comes to financing for SIDS?
Well, financing issue is definitely one of the most severe bottlenecks for SIDS and other developing countries. When we referred to the 2030 agenda implementation, up to next year, only 15% of the SDG targets are on the record, and more than 50% off the record or off the track. So if we do not mobilize additional financing or financial resources for the implementation and acceleration of the 2030 agenda, I'm not so sure this agenda still stands valid for the member states. But good point is that every member state acknowledges the severe challenges we are facing. So with regard to the financing, yes, seats are such a vulnerable to the financing challenges because of the, I would say, external shocks. They contributed almost nothing to that, but they become the victim of this external shocks in terms of the COVID-19, in terms of the climate change, and then also in terms of geopolitical tensions there.
How is climate change impacting development, not just for SIDS, but around the world?
At the present moment, no economy, no country is immune from the impacts of climate change. Every sector, every country, every region is severely impacted by the climate change over the past years or even past decade. But honestly, for SIDS members, climate change is not just a development issue. It's an existential threat to them. One of the most concerns, dominant concerns from all SIDS members is how collectively international community can embark on. First, on climate action. Second, on climate financing, to assist them to adapt on the climate impact and also to mitigate the climate impact.
How important is China's role in partnering with SIDS and other developing nations to foster more progress toward these sustainable development goals? We're only less than 6 years away till 2030.
Very true. We still have the huge gap to catch up with our commitment for this 2030 agenda, because our motto is no one should be left behind. But then now, how we can benefit from the successful stories or best practices from other developing states, for instance, like China. I certainly believe China has done an excellent job in implementing the 2030 agenda. China is also a staunch supporter to the UN development agenda. Under the framework of South-South cooperation, China actually offers a lot to support the developing world. China has conducted and invested 100 projects connecting to Africa, Asia, and even some countries in Latin America. So to me, this actually showcases China is a strongly committed to the sustainable development. And then also, within its capacity, it continues to provide its support through the South-South cooperation framework. So all in all, if we poured out all those efforts together, I definitely believe that the seeds can certainly benefit from this successful stories.
Mr. Li Junhua, thank you.
Thank you.